Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to our channel. The channel is run by two sisters, so I'm going to be your host today, Star, and welcome to my Procreate / digital sketchbook tour. I do this near the end of the year so I can just kind of go over everything that I did this year, and yeah, okay, so with that said, let's get started. I started doing like folders in the beginning of this year, so like things are in like these like stacks, unlike last year, the previous years. Things, there were some stacks because I ended up putting some stuff into stacks, but usually all the artworks were just out one at a time. But yeah, so we're not going to go in a linear kind of trajectory like I would like or have been doing, because we're going to end up jumping around between different times. But this definitely was done in January. I can't remember what this banner was for. In the beginning of the year, my sister and I wanted to ensure that all of our shared accounts that were like kind of under this like Gen Star or a Cup of Art umbrella. And if you're unfamiliar, Gen Star is the name of our commentary review channel. It's our second YouTube channel where we do we commentate on topics like anime, superhero stuff, comics, webtoons, live action things, movies, TV shows. We do like deep dives and analysis stuff on various different topics in regards to nostalgic properties. For example, my last video on that channel was back over the summer where I did a Barbie analysis and talked about gender roles, perception, identity, body image, etc. On like Barbie and her roles towards the younger audience, or the audience that the dolls are catered to, as well as my sister helped me with that video, and she helped discuss deeper onto other types of fashion dolls similar to Barbie and also their roles in terms of the audience. But anyways, we wanted to create these banners across our different channels, so you know they just look good. And so I think these are one of the banners that I created. I don't actually know if this one was ever used. You know, we created banners for our YouTube channel, and we created banners for Ko-Fi, and I think that was it. I actually can't remember, so I don't know if any of that was actually ever used. This next one here is like a iceberg list that I created for our second channel too, because I was originally doing a DC Comics iceberg video that got scrapped. I might try to bring it back for this upcoming new year, but I'm actually not sure if I'm going to do that. But this was the iceberg that I created. Moving on to here, this was from a TikTok that I did. This was when I just uploaded my brush pack onto Ko-Fi at the beginning of last year, because we started our online store last year, and so that's just a little like thumbnail or something I did. And then this is a thumbnail as well for a video that came out I think before the summer, when I did the Little Mermaid fan art for the live action movie that came out. This was kind of like a scrapped collage piece that I was doing, where I was like collaging stuff and then I was going to draw on top of it, because I was looking for some sort of specific reference, but I could not find it. And so I thought I was going to create my own, and I was going to do this big piece for I think originally I might have done it, was going to do it for February for Black History Month, or do it for Juneteenth. I think actually this was supposed to be for Juneteenth, but I never got around to doing it. So hopefully I can do something similar, or just some sort of other piece for that when June comes around. This was just a background that I used in a couple of videos, but not consistently. This was for a video that I did where I was drawing my old art styles. So I broke down everything from pieces that I did in 2020, and I just kind of labeled them so I can have that like consistent, and know like, you know, the common traits that I was able to spot in my old artwork, so I can be able to like do that video. And yeah, I think 2022 2023 has to be my best years of just art in general, and I hopefully just kind of goes up from here. I don't know if I'm going to show this folder here. I took graphic design class this past semester, this fall semester, So it does have some of my work. This is my children's book. Now, I haven't done a flip through of the children's book yet. Hopefully I can do that maybe sometime the beginning of next year when I get all my thoughts down about, you know, the pros and cons of doing a children's book, why I ended up doing a children's book at the end of this year, what I liked and didn't like, what I do more, things like that. And also there'll be the flip through. But I have done like 3 vlogs so far on the children's book process. So if you want to see some art or get an understanding of what the story was about, I will definitely suggest looking at those videos. I'll probably link the first part in the description down below, if anything. But yeah, you can see some of the beginning pages here. Let's move on. Now we get into like actual artwork. So let me go through, I guess I'll go through this folder. I was doing my comic book creations at the beginning or like middle of last year. And so these are my characters for the like temporary project name of Avion Curse. This is Adana, this is Zeros, this is Chancellor, this is Atriel, and this is Liliane. And this is kind of like draft 1, and then I try to put them all together, changing up Adana's colors a little bit because the previous one, like, color scheme kind of matched Atriel a little too much, and I quite like how Atriel looked, so I had to just pick and choose which one I wouldn't mind changing the colors of, and it ended up being Adana. Yeah, I quite like this, and there are just some aspects that I no longer kept, and I'll show you the updated one in a little bit. But yeah, I do like these designs. I think for like Zeros, the scars are a little too much. Like, I think the scars are necessary in terms of his backstory, but not to this degree, and also the placements are just a bit random. Chancellor, I haven't done like a fully like end of the year update because the last update I did was over like the end of the summer, but in the writing process of my comic, Chancellor is no longer like this animalistic character. I want animalistic characters to be introduced into the story, but I just couldn't fit it where they were already introduced and still like roaming around, but then also get like this bigger introduction later. It just didn't make any sense. So I think Chancellor would just end up being human like everyone else, and then animalistic characters and species and all that stuff would get introduced into the story later on, under this like really big event. Yeah, though I quite like these original designs, I also do like the updated ones, but at the same time I also don't like the updated ones. So hopefully next year I can do even better updated ones, because this is supposed to be a fantasy world, and I don't think any of my designs are screaming fantasy. I'm not saying it has to be like elaborate and detailed and like high fantasy, but like I think I need to put a little bit more effort. So I'm gonna like take the time to do a redesign definitely next year as I continue going through the writing. But yeah, let's go to the whip folder, because some of these stuff that I have in my whip folder should actually have been transitioned to my final piece folder. I'm just lazy to do that. Let me scroll here to where I believe the year started. So this is commissions. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna start off with this piece. This was January 1st of this year, and this was like the thumbnail piece, or not thumbnail, this was the first stage sketching of a book cover that I did for my sister's superhero world. I'll make sure I link that story down below if you guys want to read it. And then this was the final piece, and I quite like it. This was a bit of a challenge to do. I had never done a book cover before, and then by the end of the year I ended up doing 2 book covers for like 2 different stories, so that was fun. Who knew, you know, who knew? But I have another like various iterations, because obviously like I treated this like a commission, so we went back and forth. This was the beginning of a redesign that I just absolutely hated, and usually every year at the beginning of the year I like to do a redesign of my like demon Grim Reaper OC named Theo. But I was in like an art block slump in the beginning of the year, and nothing that I drew turned out right. I absolutely hated it, so I ended up doing that redraw in the summer of 2023 instead. But this was the beginning part of it. This one actually I'm surprised I never finished. I think I was doing a redesign of that character that I just closed off. I don't remember why, but I think I was doing a redesign of this character, and I think I decided I was gonna make make her a dancer or something. So I think that I had this sketch planned out and I never did anything with it, which honestly I should scroll down my folders or my stacks because there's some pieces I'm kind of like, oh, I didn't do anything. I'm assuming this I don't know. I think that was also supposed to be the character. Maybe I wanted to do some sort of updated style. I probably didn't like the round big feature look that I was going for. And I'm surprised I never actually finished this piece. Maybe I'll take this into the new year and actually finish it because I don't think there's anything wrong with this. At least I didn't get far enough for there to be anything wrong with this piece. So we shall continue. Then in the beginning of the year, I did my like persona thing where I had various different like poses for like myself for when I do my Gen Star videos, when I do my commentary videos. I had these like different poses to do like to emote different things, I guess. If I go to my favorites tab, you can see all like the different emotions, and there's just a lot of like the same picture just in different ways and different emotions. After that, I had the first sketch I did of the web comic like Bat Family Adventures. I didn't really like this design, and so I kind of moved on from there. This one I can already tell I know why. I don't know what I don't know what went wrong here. I think the breasts are too low. I think there's way too much distance between the chest and the neck. It just looks weird. So obviously I scrapped that. This was supposed to be a fan art piece for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the upcoming, at the time, the upcoming Mutant Mayhem movie that I did watch, but I scrapped it. Okay, moving on. We have some more sketches that just went absolutely nowhere. I think this was a pose that I found on Pinterest that I copied, but that also didn't go anywhere. This one, I tried my best to figure out like what I can do with it because I think the concept was cool, like this person and a bunch of hands, but also at the same time I didn't really know what I was looking for with that piece, so that also didn't go anywhere. This was a wallpaper design that I created that I put up on our Etsy at the time. So we have that. This was a failed sketch slash redesign of this character that I did, I think, back in 2022, and this is the only time I ever drawn this character. It was just like a profile thing for like a quick like rendering texture study that I did, and I kind of wanted to do a full body, but it wasn't going the way I wanted, so I left that alone. Another sketch that didn't go anywhere, but at the same time I probably have like so many drawings of like this pose, so I'm not surprised that it didn't go anywhere. Okay, so this one I think I was using this drawing from Pinterest as a reference, but at the same time I don't know, there's so many scrap pieces and I'm kind of like I can kind of get why I didn't like this one. It might have been too stiff, also very too similar to stuff that I did before. I do like the face, but it's also nothing like different or new. Basic sketch that didn't even go past the line phase. This was a fan art piece I did for the Last of Us TV show because I absolutely loved it, and a lot of people were doing like these screenshot redraw of like this scene here, so I ended up just taking it from Twitter, from someone's like screenshot, and or maybe Pinterest, I can't actually remember, and you know, trying to draw myself. This was a character design that I did, a random character design. It wasn't really for anything, but I really quite like this design. This kind of softness with firepower, I think that like contradiction looks and works well, so maybe I'll repurpose this character for something, but it's just something random. What was this for? I don't know what this one was for, but I don't like it, so I understand why I scrapped that. Let me see, where were we? Oh, this was another redraw attempt of that Theo Grim Reaper character in March. Still didn't like the way that they looked, and so I scrapped that. This is a sketch of that original like team pose that I showed you guys of the comic characters, and I think this one was another one. But obviously these didn't go anywhere. This was a Young Justice fan art piece that I was trying to do, recreating the standing pose that they did in the season 1 intro, and then I added some extra characters like Zatanna. I added Rocket in there as well because I don't think they were in that like last team pose for season 1. These were commission like the two of the commissioned sketches that I gave to the lovely person that commissioned me. It was the first time I ever got a commission. This was in April, and it was the only time I ever got a commission as well. So hopefully 2024 I can post more, really show my artwork, and really might have a chance with getting commission. But I sent the person three three poses, and they chose one of them, and then I ended up doing that, and you'll see that final later. This was the background for that commission post. I did like a background, and then I blurred it out, and then I kept like the foreground kind of intact. This was the second drawing that I did I ended up drawing this for work. For a work related thing, but I did an angel piece at the beginning of the year, and so this is the second drawing that I did, where I kind of fleshed out more of what the wings look like, more of like, I think the design of the outfit looked the same, but in that design it was cut off so you don't see the pants and the shoes, so I kind of fleshed that out. And I actually really like this. I don't know what I can use this character for, but I should like still draw it. Created some new brushes, so I was playing around with how like they look, and I don't think this is bad, but for like what I like to use, I don't think it's up my alley. I created another brush thing again, specifically this one was for rendering, so I was looking at that effect. But honestly, I don't even know what brush I used for this too, because I really quite like this brush for the sketching itself, this kind of like soft opaque thing, but also the whatever I used for the rendering too, it's very soft. Now my like typical rendering brush is more of a texturedness, since I don't use texture in my pieces. When I go on the over painting stage, I like to add texture, so my rendering brush has more of a texture to it. But I don't know, I quite like this. But that was just to test out that brush. This was a quick sketch, a quick whatever of something that I saw, of a portrait that I saw on Pinterest. Oh my god, I never finished this, did I? Whoa. Well, this was of my two OCs, Elijah and Jonas. Their looks are a lot different now since I redesigned them on Clip Studio Paint, and I was able to use a 3D model to kind of help with the consistency that the lack of consistency that I seem to have with a lot of my characters. So I don't know if I will actually ever finish this, or maybe try to update their faces really, because I don't think this is too bad, but it's also a little stiff to me. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't actually finish this piece or colored it in. This was another wallpaper design that maybe I'll actually finish. This was before I added the finishing touches to the Little Mermaid like poster fan art that I did for the live action movie. Created a stamp brush so I don't have to keep writing the certain things again, and then this just kind of created like mock-ups and stuff to add to Ko-Fi when I uploaded that orange wallpaper. This is one of the attempts, or like one of the final looks for the Across the Spider-Verse fan art piece that I did. It was also a screenshot redraw. This I hate it. This also, I don't know why I didn't finish it. This was of my two comic characters, Adana and Zeros, and I think this is supposed to be vines around them and maybe some sort of like building behind them. I think it was supposed to be the church because they ran away from a church. Also, I quite like this, so actually I might fix that up. This, after so many attempts, I finally was able to redraw Theo, the Grim Reaper OC that I had, and I made a video about this over the summer. Really I just really like the brush that I use to create these like softness and how I render and stuff like that. So I really like this final attempt. I did mention in that video that I think I might stray away from redrawing Theo, because I just was feeling like it wasn't working out for me with redrawing his character to show growth. But I feel like since I have like 3 to 4 or maybe 5 versions of him already, like that progression with him makes kind of sense, because I have so many versions of this already. So we'll see if in the beginning, I don't think I'm gonna do it in the beginning of the year, I'm not sure, but we'll see if I continue to redraw Theo. Maybe instead of doing it every year, I might do it every 2 years, or just kind of do it whenever. I don't know, we'll see. This I made quickly when Threads, Instagram Threads came out, and so I like posted that little thing. Yeah, this I did on Clip Studio Paint, but I brought it in to finish it up. These are the summer outfits that I did of my OCs, Jonas, Vanessa, and Elijah. And then Jonas and Elijah are together. Vanessa's just another character that's also in that world that I absolutely adore. So whenever I really draw anyone from the like this story, it's gonna be those three. I was doing a video where I was going to redesign the outfits from My Hero Academia, but I still want to do that video, like redesign outfits, the superhero outfits for My Hero Academia, and I was kind of planning out like what I liked and didn't like about these designs. I still might do that video, but I didn't really like what I was going. I didn't like my art. This was doing my art block, so I was kind of forcing myself to do art, and so I was like, you know what, I'm done. We're gonna leave it alone and we're gonna come back later. And I never came back later, but we are gonna come back later. This was another piece for the redraw that I did of Theo. I posted both of these pieces in the same video, and I love it. 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 I just love it. I think I finally got Theo down. Now I need to work on a story to actually make me want to like redraw him again. Oh, and this one I was testing out new brushes that I made as well, and girl, I don't know if the camera's picking it up good, but I really like this. But I have so many like brush tester packs, so I need to actually write down when I'm doing like testing a brush pack that I made and write it down so I can actually refer to like what I like and didn't like. Because at the time I remember what I used, but at the same time it's kind of like now I don't. It's been months. This was that redraw piece that I talked about where I analyzed my 2020 art style, my 2021 art style, and then 2022/2023 mixed together. And honestly, I think I did really well. I was actually like kind of surprised how well I did, because I thought that what I did nowadays would influence, you know, will influence the past art style, so they wouldn't actually look accurate. But I think they look accurate, and I adore, I ate this up. I adore what I did over the summer for 2022/2023, because so good. I was doing a Wings Club redesign video, and I'm really glad that I started on the sketching process of Flora on Clip Studio Paint, but I never got too far with it over the summer because, you know, things ended up happening, because I kind of want to redesign my redesigns, because I already picked which designs I'm going for that video, but I want to redesign my redesigns because I really kept these really close to the originals, but I didn't actually want to draw, like, just redraw the original outfits each of the girls had. But at the same time, I do want to spice it up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting, because this is also a fantasy world, so I want to introduce details and things like that. And so I'm gonna put that on pause, but I'll definitely get to that redesign next year. This is a fall OC outfit for Jonas. Jonas looks really terrifying here. I don't really like it anymore, but overall I think the piece is solid, so I don't mind it. Next we have Elijah. I really like Elijah. I feel like they always look different every time I draw them, but yeah, anyways, overall I really like how Elijah looked. And I was gonna do Vanessa, hated that pose, absolutely hated it, and I just stopped. This was the first stages of me drawing a clown/vampire like art piece for Halloween. And so I think this one was like, I think these were clown vampire witches. So I think this one was the clown one, and then no, this one was the clown one, the other one was the vampire one. And then I put these first stages in that video. This was the final piece of that work. It took me longer than I would have liked, but I think overall the piece turned out really well, or just like, you know, okay enough. And this would have been my last piece. Honestly, this has to be transitioned to the featured or the final stacked, as well as these OC designs, but whatever. This would have been my final artwork along with this one. This one I did over Clip Studio Paint based off of like a art TikTok OC trend that was happening. But these would have been my final work if I didn't do, and I haven't posted this yet, but most likely before this video comes out, this would have already been posted. But by the time of me, you know, recording this, I haven't actually posted this yet. But Black Coraline based off this like Pinterest post was kind of trending. Now I don't think so, so I'm a little too late for the trend, but it's you know, it was trending, so I did this, whipped this up quickly within like I think 5 hours. And I have some product ideas which I won't show you, and then I can probably share this, but this is the beginning part of a sketch I'm doing for my Happy New Year's post, which I do every year, which is like, you know, doing some sort of Happy New Year's like first post of January. And this is what I did for 2023, and I at least like to make sure there's some sort of background, so it's, you know, it's a little bit engaging and, you know, just not what I typically do or what I normally do. And so yeah, that other sketch is gonna be what my 2024 Happy New Year's post is. So yeah, we'll quickly go through these, but this is a fan art screenshot for Batman Family Adventures. I didn't like the original one I did of just like the standing fan art piece, so I decided that I was going to do some sort of screenshot redraw instead. These I did back in February of my OC Vanessa. Absolutely love it. Love how this turned out. And then we have 2 more pieces here, and you could even see, like, oh my god, I have to like learn how to just have to draw my characters a lot, because even though I did these 3 pieces consecutively right after the other, like, she just looks different each time, and it's just not good. But I really love these outfits, and they're probably one of my favorite like outfits I ever designed this past year. Then we have this fan art piece I did for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I didn't actually post this fan art anywhere actually, but I did use the art footage of this for a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur video that I did over on our Genstar channel when I commentated about it. Fan art piece for, I think these were during Black History Month, so fan art piece of Starfire that I did post during Black History Month, and I also reposted it, I believe, during Blacktober, if I remember. I'm pretty sure I did during Blacktober. So yeah, we have this piece. My next one is my angel art. Like I said, I redrew that character for like an art for a work related thing, but this was the original like time, or the first time I actually drew this character. And I have a whole video on actually a lot of these artworks, because obviously I make videos on my artwork. So for the ones that I'll pick and choose, but for the ones that I like, I'll definitely link it down below if anyone's interested. And then this was the commission piece that I did for that lovely commissioner. And then this was the fan art piece I did of the little live action Little Mermaid poster. And I really like how this turned out. There's some things that I think I would add on to the piece, but I don't think anything that I did I would really take away or wish I didn't do. This was the final look to that screenshot redraw piece of from Across the Spider-Verse. This was like a screenshot from the trailer. Yeah, I really like how this one turned out as well. I think similar to Little Mermaid, there's some things I would add, like for the tongue and the teeth, some necessary shading, but I think I left these writings here because, you know, Across the Spider-Verse and just like the movies, the first movie in general, had a lot of like tech left around on a lot of like frames, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave that there too. This I did over the summer, and this was the fan art piece I did of just Barbie. So this was Margot Robbie's Barbie. This was before the movie came out. This was Brooklyn Barbie. Absolutely love. And then this is Kira from Princess and the Pop Star, which is another Barbie movie, and she's been one of my favorite Barbie characters in general. Like I said, I did a Barbie analysis video on like gender roles and all that stuff. It's like a 40-minute analysis video, and I used the art footage for this over on our second channel. I don't think I ever used like the art process of this on this channel. And then we will quickly go over through my digital sketchbooks. I want to see. This is January 1st of 2023. I think these were just thumbnail ideas. I don't know what any of these actually even mean now, so I can't even say like, oh, maybe I can use this, because I don't even know what that is. Some face portrait studies, because I was really trying to get better at actually like diversify my face and actually like adding necessary facial features to really evoke aging or just like certain like trait. And so I was practicing with that. Then I did some building studies, because I was trying to like, really familiarize myself with how to draw a building for my comic. And then I just painted one of these or colored in one of these studies. These were like faces for my comic character Madonna, some bird studies, an owl study, monster studies, because my world is gonna have monsters, so I was trying to figure out what that looked like. Some more monster studies, more monster study, trying out like different techniques to like just for clothing for see-throughness. I did a children's book this year, so I was just working on facial expressions and more like faces for the characters that could potentially show up. And then for the children's book, I wanted to use something different than my normal brushes that I created back in 2022, and I was just kind of swatching some of these brushes that I had / some that I even made myself, and I was just kind of figuring out if I was doing a children's book, which one would I want to use. And then I figured that out, and that was the last page that I did before the year. Could I still draw something before the year ends? Yeah, it's December 29th. I still have some time, but at the same time, it's like the end of the year. I have this last thing to show too. These are for more comic book stuff. So this is the council for one of the characters that goes to like this prestigious academy. So this is like the council for that. And then these are two characters, Bertha and Pluto, that you meet very early on in the story when like the character goes to a tavern to kind of create this group to go to like this fallen city or the fallen kingdom for X amount of reasons that I won't spoil. These were the redesigns of the 5 characters. Atrio, he stayed the same. I did not redesign him at all. I like these better than the first version, but at the same time I don't like these enough, and so I'm going to redesign everything. But yeah, this is it. This was my Procreate gallery tour. This is the final video for the year, so I want to say happy New Year's Eve / happy New Year's. It means so much to my sister and I if you stuck around this entire year, if you subscribed or liked the video or commented on something, whether it's a video or a short. It truly means a lot, so thank you guys so much. And so with that said, I actually have to prepare to leave to get my wisdom teeth taken out. So I will see you guys in the new year, hopefully better than ever. My sister and I will see you guys. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. It definitely means a lot. Jen and I will see you in another video. Have an amazing day. Stay safe, stay warm. Peace. Bye guys.